Hello friends, it's Don, and today we're going to discuss how to answer the question, describe yourself in 5 words or less. Now it's important that you pick unique words that will make you stand out from other candidates. So now if you're new to the channel, hey, consider subscribing. And if you actually find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. So let's dive right in and let me show you how to give a totally fantastic answer that is going to impress your interviewer. So in this video, I'm going to cover why the hiring manager is asking you the question. Then I'm going to give you a list of 12 good words that you might use to describe some of your awesomeness, and then I'll follow up with an example answer. So first, the hiring manager wants to know if you understand your own strengths and how they'll be able to contribute to the company. So when answering this question, explain how your chosen words will benefit the company once you start working there. Now, I want to give you 9 words that you can use to describe yourself. Now, the first one is focused. So if you're focused, you stick with one thing and you don't get sidetracked. Now, another great word is creativity or creative, and that's the ability to come up with unique ideas. And you're probably a creative person. In your last job, you probably came up with a lot of creative things. The next one is organized. And I like to consider myself organized. And if you're organized, that means you plan things out. You plan everything, whether it's, a birthday party, a project, you plan it out. And that's a great quality to describe yourself as. Now, another one is self-starter. Now, this type of quality means that you don't require a lot of guidance and you consistently maintain enthusiasm, all throughout your work. One of my favorites. Another one is disciplined, where you consistently put in effort and you constantly strive to tackle any kind of obstacles. It's another really good way to describe yourself as being disciplined. And then the next one is analytical. Now, analytical, this is not for everybody. This is probably going to be more for the math heads, but this is where you employ numerical data, statistics to generate effective solutions. So if you're an accountant, you're a financial manager, or something like that, you might want to describe yourself as analytical. Or if you're a software developer, programming, or electrical engineer, you might want to describe yourself as being analytical. Another one of my favorites, this one goes across the board for everybody, is patience, meaning that you can pace yourself and avoid making rash decisions. Another one is accomplished. So this is where, if you're going to describe yourself as accomplished, you have to talk about a history of achievements that you have made, all throughout your career. Another one of my favorites is motivated, meaning that you know how to get excited about your work and to kind of just plow through, or maybe you have the ability to motivate others. So now, when the interviewer, asks you to describe yourself in 5 words or less, you might say, or, I'm going to say, that I'm motivated, disciplined, and focused. And what that really means is that I'll be able to tackle this new project head on, starting on my first day. Or, hey, you might say something like, I'm creative, organized, and patient. And what that means is when I start a new project, I plan the whole thing out, thinking of everything that could go wrong. And if I'm not getting the result I'm looking for, I don't freak out, but instead I carefully review everything to find the problem. And that, my friend, is really all there is to answering the question, describe yourself in 5 words or less. You could do it in 3 words. Some people might just do it in 1 word. They might just say, I'm disciplined. Or they might just say, I'm patient. But, normally you want to use at least 3 to 5 words to describe yourself. And and part of delivering your answer is to be very direct. You don't want to go in there and say, well, I'm motivated, disciplined, and focused. You have to put your whole body into it. You have to emphasize those words. You have to say, I'm motivated, disciplined, and focused. And you have to command attention when you're describing yourself. Because you got to remember, these words that you're using to sum up, all of who you are, they need to be resonating, from the lower part of your register, and they need to come out and they need to command attention. That interviewer needs to feel what you're saying. And that's going to make what you're saying all the more real to them. And that's the whole point. And that, my friend, that's really all there is to it. That's all I have for you today. To help you with your next interview, head on over to jobinterviewtools.com and grab this checklist. This is really cool because it's going to show you a lot of the other questions that you're going to get asked in the interview, and it's going to give you some other resources for where you can go and download those. It's going to give you a whole list of things that you probably haven't thought of, or maybe you have, but maybe you just have them all scattered down on a bunch of pieces of paper, and you have your own little checklist. Well, use this checklist. This is a structured checklist that's going to walk you through everything. And on the back side, there's a back side. It's really cool. It's got more detail of just things to jog your memory before your interview to help you get prepared for that big day. Because you don't want to show up for the interview and, oh my gosh, I forgot that. Or, oh, I wish I would have done that. This is going to make sure that you check everything off the list before your interview so that you do a fantastic job. And you can get this from jobinterviewtools.com/checklist. And that, my friend, that's all I got. If you found this video helpful, hey, give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend, and subscribe. And I'll let you know the next time I release a new video. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.